That's where Stefan Edberg is so swift. The angled backhand that opened up the court, gave himself the opportunity to make this approach and come on in and steal the point from Courier. This is the very simple, compact action of Jim Courier. Quite pumped up for the first point, served it at 184. So often we've seen him strike the ball time and again, just at 182. Well, that's a scenario that will get played time and again, and maybe this match will depend on Courier's ability to pass Edberg in such situations. I don't think he'll want to rely on Edberg to miss volleys like that too often.
The champion holds his serve in the opening game. 1-love.
Here is the unique action of Stefan Edberg, off the ground, both feet off the ground and over the court at the point of impact. So often has been foot faulted this championship. Doesn't serve as fast as Jim Courier. Both of those serves just in the low 160s. And this was a Courier statement as much as anything else. He really wants to tell Stefan Edberg, if you miss your first serve and serve the second ball short, you'll pay for it.
One of the hottest Sundays in this summer in Melbourne, the Yarra River, My Music Bowl, Government House, as we come in towards the stadium. Remember, Edberg was love 4 against Sampras. He's on the board early against Courier, the champion to serve.
interesting attempt there. That's the backhand that Edberg used so effectively against Courier when they played in the US Open final in 1991. Courier had a more pronounced habit then of when he served the second ball into the second court, he would then jump to his left. It doesn't seem to be as obvious now. Just a sheer power from the ground stroking capabilities of Jim Courier.
Crowd, I think, just slightly in Edberg's favour. He received a bigger cheer when the players were introduced, and when he hits a winning shot, a little bit more applause for him, although I think Courier has just started slightly the better.
.175 matches, 144 victories at the highest level.
It's two makeable backhand volleys that Stefan Edberg has missed, and that really is unusual. Most likely the best volleyer in the world, and his backhand volley his stronger side. Although the sun has gone past the point it's at noon, because Edberg throws the ball over his head to some degree, the sun could be bothering him from the southern end.
Pam Shriver had 3 double faults in one game serving to that side just half hour ago in the women's doubles final.
I think those two doubles, he dragged them down into the net. The ball tossed just here from courtside seemed to be just a little bit too far forward.
A little tension down there, and Courier just snatching at that backhand attempted pass. It was a makeable shot. And again, snatching prematurely at the ball. And interestingly, John Barrett observed both players over breakfast this morning and said that Stefan looked very relaxed with his wife and Tony Pickard and joking and chatting, and he thought that, and there is Tony Pickard and Annette, he thought that Jim Courier was rather tense, maybe just keyed up, but short on conversation.
The first of the breaks, and he did it quite magnificently.
Well, wasn't the most convincing backhand volley down the line. Edberg was at full stretch. Remember, he has had that back problem earlier in the tournament, And since that moment, it has appeared that he has been content to play himself into matches and not really exerting 100% in the first part of the first set. Jim Courier, not the natural attacker. The ball dropped before he made that approach, gave Edberg more time to cover the backhand, which is Edberg's preferred ground stroke. Same backhand, same forehand that got the break for Courier, whipping it across court, a lot of topspin. He's onto that ball so quickly. Jim Courier's first ace. The fastest serves by each player. In fact, Courier's first serve in this match was 184.
Four-one now for Courier in the opening set.
And you can see how close that was. It was the right foot that barely touched. It's interesting how often Courier is going across court with his forehand. From my observations throughout this tournament, he much prefers to hit the off forehand when he's into the backhand corner, and when he's taken wide on the forehand, he has been going up the great majority of times, going up the line the great majority of times. Maybe he's just educating Stefan differently and maybe setting him up for the pass down the line at more critical stages. Unforced errors, Edberg committing more than double at this point. Courier in some matches have virtually been error-free. 6 or 7 errors in the entire match. Jim sure used all the frame on the return of serve then. Ball seemed to rattle around off about 4 parts of it. And from Netcam, this graceful, elegant serve volleyer in the world of tennis. Balletic. Here are the service statistics, and Courier having distinct advantage both in percentage in and success rate to this point.
.65 degrees on centre court, 150 degrees Fahrenheit.
That's the surface temperature of the court. Stefan just can't believe he missed this one, just cleared the baseline.
Well, John, he just appeared to just baby the shot. It was an easy one. He didn't really want to hammer it away. He just thought he'd just place it away and just didn't get on top of the ball.
Five-2 in the opening set for Courier. In the opening set, with new balls, Courier has the break and seemingly in control of this opening set. Remember, he won the opening set last year before going on and winning the title.
There certainly is some tension down there. Stefan Edberg just being jumbled up with too many thoughts then, thinking to go down the line and back across court, and really not doing either convincingly. It's not a bad start compared to the one he made against Pete Sampras, down 2 breaks of serve in that first set before he finally got back into it and won that first set. See Edberg jumping to the backhand corner, expecting the return across court, and Courier thumping it down the line, and away goes the hat. It's the first time that Stefan had played with a hat. Has it lasted long?
Three set points.
It's the same end in the 4th game where he was broken.
Well, the big problem for Stefan Edberg at the moment, there's absolutely nothing on the serve. First serve's not getting much bite, and the second serve has been landing very, very short.
And that's the type of tennis that Stefan Edberg has to keep reproducing to try to break the spirit of the opponent. Jim Courier must have thought he had the ball by Stefan Edberg. It certainly would have been by any other player on this planet. For Jim Courier than Stefan Edberg. Edberg replaces Edberg places a far greater emphasis on getting the first serve in and moving it around, a great variety, and moving in behind the ball much quicker than any other player. Back to Juice. Brad Stein, Jim Courier's coach. There's the unforced errors really getting away from Stefan Edberg at the moment. Longest game so far at Juice for the third time.
Fourth set point for Jim Courier. Had 3 at love 40. Stefan thought it was long. 35 minutes the opening set. Edberg thought his first serve was long. Courier passed him. Courier lost 2 points in 4 service games in the opening set and broke the Edberg service twice.
Just a little concerned at her husband's form so far.
Courier's made a magnificent start. Edberg really struggling. 1-love, second set. Courier's won 36 points in this match to date to Edberg 19. It's a staggering statistic that he's won almost twice as many points as Edberg. He's lost 2 points in 5 service games. His domination has been such. Well, Edberg must get off to a solid start here in the second set.
Courier incredibly severe on this second serve. You could see the ball wasn't deep and Courier was at least a metre inside the baseline, moving forward as he made contact with that ball and really just slashed at it. Well, when you're struggling to find form, as Stefan is, those things can be irritating. Needs a few things to go his way at the beginning of the second set. And again, miscuing on the backhand volley, his favourite side. The second set, really, this is for the first 6 rounds. Just incredible how similar that statistic is. But remember, Edberg played many more games, many more sets. So on a pro rata basis, he is better off. Edberg needs a couple of free points. That's to go to 40-30. Still not an overly convincing score on his own serve. He's won all 3 serves from the northern end, been broken both times he served from the southern end. But this set, the second set for Stefan Edberg, approaches being a must set. If you were to get down 2 sets to love in heat like this, the chances of coming back are quite slim.
Stefan Edberg's constantly tapping his re-strings. Been doing it for the last 3 or 4 games, so I wouldn't be surprised if he doesn't change rackets shortly. He's obviously not that happy with the re-string.
Well, that could explain his missed volleys. We saw John Fitzgerald in the doubles final yesterday apparently having difficulty controlling his volley, possibly because of the warmth of the day had made his strings a little softer. So you see this passing shot in replay. Also, Pete Sampras in his semi-final went out and had rackets strung at a higher tension during the match because his strings had gone down in the heat of the match, during the heat of the match. Balls actually get lighter as play progresses on this surface, and therefore harder to control. And if the racket tension is down, the ball tends to catapult off the racket, and it makes it increasingly more difficult to control. That's awesome.
He's in great form. He's the defending champion, 2-1 in the second set. Let's see if Edberg can produce a little bit of magic here.
And I remember quite clearly Becker late coming on court, and there was fear that he had a thigh injury, and there was some strapping, and from that close quarter, no chance to reflex the ball back. This is where Edberg has had difficulty winning his serve, has not won his serve from the southern end. Jim Courier really thinking very, very well there. Edberg closing even closer to the net than he normally does. Maybe trying to make up for his little bit of loss of touch on the volley today, and being caught by the lob. And very little chance of running that down. Stefan did very well to make that attempt. Love 30 in trouble. Stefan was beaten then, had that ball just been another maybe 2 or 3 centimetres higher. Everything going Jim Courier's way, the net now being kind to him. Double break point. Coming off the net. Edberg doing quite well just to jam it back, but not having the presence of mind to move one way or the other, which he definitely should have done. The first time he lost serve, there was 2 double faults, and now surrenders this 4th game of the second set with a double fault. And Stefan Edberg in real trouble. Down a set, 6-2 and 3-1 after just 50 minutes of play.
John Newcombe, who won that famous final against Jimmy Connors when #2 played #1 in the world in 1975.
And his beautiful wife, Angie, from West Germany originally. And Stefan really struggling. Everything going against him. This let cord working against him, and now in physical peril.
Game Courier.
4-1 now for Courier in this, the second set. Well, what can Edberg do? He's won just 2 points against this man's serve. His own service has looked vulnerable. It's been broken 3 times. He's won just 24 points to 50 in this match so far. And he's 2 sets down in a breakdown. 1 set, I should say, down in a breakdown.
Well, first thing he has to do is develop his serve volley rhythm and just start consolidating on his service games. He simply can't afford to make volleying errors like that. That is so uncharacteristic for Stefan Edberg. Again, hitting his racket against his hand, checking the tension, which is obviously not to his liking. Remember, during last year's final, he felt that the balls were under pressure, softer than what they should be. And you could see very clearly just touching maybe 1/4 of an inch of the line. Well, this point tells a story, and it tells a story that Jim Courier is not going to let up for 1 second. The determination with in the way that he ran for these 2 balls, he wasn't going to let this point go.
So symbolic of what we've seen so far. At 1 point.
Well, it would be hard to understand what Jim was saying after the semi-final, but he was reflecting as a child that he never won matches easily, and he didn't have the talent of a Sampras or a Stick, who when they played really well, they demolished their opponents, but he needs to have another look at his own self.
Thank you.
is an extraordinary statistic. The second set, 83% of first serves in, by far Jim's best percentage, winning 100% of the time. And that is his first double fault. Where Stefan Edberg is most versatile. He is capable of meeting Jim at the back of the court also. You would favour Jim in such exchanges.
Forgetting the double fault, John. It's the first time he's won a point on the Courier serve in this second set.
And that's Edberg tennis, more solidly from the back of the court. The first chance to approach he did with the sliced backhand, and a very solid backhand volley for the first time during this match. But look at the dogged determination with which Jim chased that one. Got to it, but couldn't make the shot. Love 40 for one breakback right now. Pickard refusing to give anything away with his expression or attitude. Stefan tried to move forward for that return of serve, but the ball's so very deep it got on top of him. 2 break points saved. That at 189 is now Jim's fastest serve for the tournament. Edberg has just totally lost any feel on his volley. Set point. Jim Courier to lead 2 sets to love after just 1 hour and 2 minutes of play.
27 minutes, the second set. It's 6-2, 6-1 Courier.
So a key game for Stefan Edberg. He must hold serve here. He hasn't held serve from the southern end.
Fourth double fault for Edberg. He averaged about 2 3/4 in his first 6 rounds.
It's incredible how similar so many of their statistics are through to this round. Exactly the same number of double faults.
Stefan had held service 90% of the time, and Jim 89% coming into this match. It has changed over the last hour.
And if there is any luck to be had, it is certainly going Jim Courier's way. The return of serve coming off the frame and being rather difficult. And I don't think that shot was entirely played for.
Actually, the return of serve, John, was going out. It just shows you when things aren't working for you, Edberg electing to play it. But I've never seen him ever play so unconfidently. Foot folded again there, and that happens when he's eager to get to the net. He sometimes throws the ball a little bit too far forward in his effort to rush quickly to the net and causes the foot fault. But I've never seen him miss time so many shots in my entire life.
There's something missed time from Jim Courier. Stefan really does appear rattled at this stage. And the first rule when you're under pressure is to stay calm. And that's been something that he's been so good at in recent years.
And such an important game for Edberg. It's 1-love third set.
Well, it's obvious what Edberg is doing now, and this is what he's needed to do all along. Every time Courier misses a first serve, he needs to hit it and travel to the net as quickly as he can. Yes, that's a 10, you're right, and Brad Stein was right, knowing not to underestimate Stefan Edberg at this point in the match.
Thank you.
Again, so even in the first 6 rounds.
That volley didn't look too convincing. It was a real jag off the chest. This ball hit up very, very deep. And then Edberg, who so often goes down the line along that one, dragged it back across court. It surprised Courier.
Still another break point. Let's see if he can convert one. Missed 3 in the 7th game of the 2nd set when Courier served it out. Yes. Out of the blue, from nowhere. There's life. Ivan Lendl's the last man to have come from 2 sets to love down in a Grand Slam final. It's not easy. It was 8 years ago, or 8.5 years ago in 1984. And John, we've got to go back 28 years at the Australian Open. Roy Emerson and Fred Stolle.
You're right. Fred Stolle lost to Roy Emerson consecutive finals. But 2 sets to love. Kooyong on grass.
It shows the enormity of the task. It doesn't happen often. But at least he's back in some sort of a chance. It's a long way behind still.
They look a little lonely at this moment, but their expressions aren't changing. And Stefan believes the ball is wide. He's indicating by the margin. Umpire and linesperson not moved. And if Stefan is carrying on like this, you could bet your house that the ball was wide.
Yes, I'd agree with that. The house would be safe.
And there is the mark you can see so clearly wide. Stefan really does need a few things to go his way. Both of these players absolutely genuine, great sportsmen.
Thank you. Quiet, please.
that ball sort of shanked part of the frame, connecting with the ball. And the anxiety of Edberg showing again, indecision. Maybe as he had taken a volley that was obviously going out in the previous game. Great swinging second serve right into the body of Courier.
So Jim Courier does have a history of some mishit returns with that double-handed backhand. He swings up very sharply, and Michael Stick actually commented when he lost to him that a lot of the returns that were coming and catching him at his feet were actually off-centre hits from Courier and were turning out to be pretty good returns.
You'd remember the problem that Ken Rosewell used to have with Rod Laver. The same issue. Laver used to come up through the ball very rapidly and catch the frame, and when he was hot, he'd get a lot of lucky shots. Well, maybe this is going to even itself out. And the umpire agrees the ball was in. Jim Courier went very smartly and pointed to a mark that was deep. Let's see if we can see.
Well, certainly the machine didn't go off, and it wasn't outside the range of the machine.
Back to Juice.
Maybe just a little anxiety for Jim for the first time.
Held service. It's 3-love Edberg, third set. Love 3 Courier. And Edberg coming from 5th 40 down. And surely would have been out of the match had Courier been able to break back immediately there. Courier leading 2 sets to love though.
Edberg not hesitating, moving in at every opportunity. Only the second double fault, but that one really was a little bit on the puny side. The ball toss not high enough and clearly down from the top of the net. And for the first time today, Jim Courier looking just frail, just for a moment. what an extraordinary turnaround. Third double fault in the entire match, but 2 of them coming in this game, and both of the second serves going into the net in a tentative fashion, not like Jim Courier at all.
It's out. What a turnaround this is for Love Edberg. Edberg has won 19 of the last 27 points, 19-8, after Courier had won 59 points in the opening 2 sets to 28, more than double. It's an enormous turnaround.
It really is. I bet you could have got some great odds during that second set, but now maybe not. It's becoming a match. Here are the service statistics. Look at that, down to 45%. That's about half what Jim was doing. And the other figure, the success rate, far less than half. Oh, Stefan just can't believe that. Right on top of the net. I'm sure he's missed more backhand volleys today than he did in the month of December. And here is an example. He's just lost confidence on the volley. It's almost like he rode that one in and hesitated before moving on, whereas normally he's absolutely so sure of his volleying skills that he moves immediately after hitting the volley. Stefan has only held serve once so far this match from the southern end. The opening couple of games he could have been affected by the sun, but not so since the second set began.
I think one of the reasons Jim Courier's form might have dropped off a little, he really won those first 2 sets. He didn't miss too much, but he really didn't have to do a lot, really. A great contributing factor was Edberg's rather poor form. And now Edberg playing a bit better, and Courier's just got a little tense.
But breaks back, gets one of the 2 back. It's 4-1 in the 3rd set. This match has been going 1 hour and 27 minutes, so they haven't been out there long, relatively, when you look at some of the great best-of-5 set matches we've had, but it will be taking its toll. Courier serving.
It's Jim just riding himself, aggravated, making an error on a very makeable forehand. Deep into the second set, he'd only made a total of 4 errors, conceding the first 2 points with unforced errors. And 6 already in this set to Edberg's 2. This is the third ace for Jim Courier, a sliding ball out wide, the pace taken off the ball with the spin added, just at 161 kilometres per hour. And it's not that Jim isn't popular, but the crowd really is cheering for Stefan Edberg to make a match of this final. And he is doing his best. 2 break points for a 5-1 lead. Just absolutely furious with himself. Missing yet again. And on the backhand volley, you could see him signal to himself that he just can't make one. Some big serving helping Jim there. 2 aces in that last one, virtually unplayable. 185k straight down the centre on the line. And while Edberg had break points to go to 5-1, 4-2 now serving.
Feels so much tighter, doesn't it? 4-2. What an important single game this is to hold the advantage. It'd be crippling if he gave this up now.
Extraordinarily, he has not lost his serve from this end.
Thank you. Point, please.
That's a more confident volley. And this is Edberg at his best. The first backhand volley on the first point still a little tentative, although it did go in.
5-2 for Edberg in the third set. Courier to serve at 2-5.
We've just heard that the court temperature has dropped to 62 degrees centigrade and the air temperature to 36.
15 all.
Well, John, there is just a hint every now and then of a little breeze down here at courtside, so perhaps that might be the cause of that drop in temperature.
5 aces now for Courier.
Our favourite American supporter, been here virtually every session. Had one lapse where he supported Denmark.
So whilst he served 3 aces in the last couple of service games, the double faults are at 4. They've come in this third set, or 3 of them.
And 2 in the fourth game.
Set point. Edberg has had break points in each of the last 4 service games, and Courier has broken him twice.
Well, this match really has turned around because the form that both players are displaying right now is going to have Edberg winning the fourth set as well. Third set not over yet.
Almost unbelievable. 6-2 that one for Edberg in 37 minutes. And Courier double faulting his way out of the set. And what a fillip for Edberg, not having to serve the set out from the southern end where he's been broken 5 times today.
And the additional advantage, Stefan Edberg serving first game of the fourth. He had served second in the first set and second in the second set. And he served first in the third set. He won it. This may well be an advantage for Stefan.
Well, the crowd getting really pumped up now, courtside now, really trying to get behind Edberg.
And look at that for a switch-up serve, just at 126 kilometres per hour. There was a lot of kick on it. It was short and wide, and it really caught Jim Courier mid-stride and just totally embarrassed as far as balance went.
unforced errors will be a very interesting statistic. Courier with so few for so long in this match and through the tournament, but suddenly they're flowing off his racket.
Well, there is the turnaround.
Well, that's the start he wanted. Love game to open the fourth set.
First game, fourth set.
And Alan Stone, I just wonder if you can feel it at courtside, a change in the body language being given off by the players.
Yes, I wouldn't be surprised if Jim Courier isn't just slightly feeling the heat. We know he says he likes the heat, but whether that's a psychological tactic for his opponents, I don't know. But he certainly went off towards the end of that third set, and I had a feeling that he actually just allowed it to slip away a bit because he was a fair way down. He may be saving himself for this fourth.
Love.
And the winning edge went for Courier on forehands, and the statistics back that up. So do the statistics from the first 6 rounds.
That's up. Love.
Now Courier pulling himself back together.
Thank you. One points. Fourteen, 15. Forty, 13.
Big point here for Courier, sailing along at 40 love, seemingly back on track. Could get very nervous if this gets to deuce.
Game, Courier. New balls. 1-all.
Edberg really finding his way back into the court as we hoped and really expected that he would.
Love.
Five aces, with the first off a second serve. Stefan's first serve of the match was an ace.
30 love.
He has been foot-faulted a great number of times during this championship, but I think that's the first time on a second serve. And here it is. And you can see that right foot actually in front of his left foot, and it's just touched the line.
(40-15). Out.
Edberg holds. It's 2-1 in the fourth. Courier 1-2.
I'm not sure that it's not playing a role already, because Jim Courier has served so many balls that have been off pace or missed by an unusual margin, and I'm thinking it could be that he is just feeling the pinch a little bit. And the first thing it's affecting is his timing. And Edberg moving gracefully, lightly, and Courier really forcing himself to get to the ball there. Edberg just such an elegant mover. I really felt that Jim really had to force himself to run to those two wide ones. 15 all.
(30-15).
So Brad Stein, a totally different looking character now to what he was during the first two sets. Tension written all over his face.
(40-15).
It probably is Jim Courier's single greatest shot. The forehand from about three-quarter court into the backhand corner there and hitting it off, and so many times he hits it just within a centimetre or two of the line.
Game Courier.
6 aces. He cranked that one up to 186.
Well, I don't think there's any doubt that Stefan is catching Jim. It's just whether he can catch him before the finish line. 2 sets to love is a big lead.
Love.
Is that a string gone in?
Yep, broken a string.
It's unusual. He's taking a seat to change his rackets. And that will indicate again that he is a little tired. And he's going to want that racket strung. It appears right now.
Thank you.
Courier, one of the players who has his racket strung very, very tight.
All. Fault.
There's an overrule again from Wayne McEwen. And Stefan having a second look. Courier heading for the shade at every opportunity.
All.
Now that was a modest first serve, just 127. And really not well enough directed. If you're going to serve that pace, it better be on the angle. Oh, and that's going to be expensive. Fine swinging first serve, and he will have it on replay. Oh, dear me, that was very close. There it is on net cam, and Edberg really moving in well for that one. Meters inside the service line.
Game
3-2 Edberg.
Edberg leads 3-2.
Making his move in the fourth. So Courier needs to hold.
Love.
Well, that's the play that Stefan Edberg needs to produce as often as possible, because the chances of Jim making those shots consistently decline as the match goes closer. There's the Governor General, Bill Hayden, enjoying the tennis.
30 love.
Stefan remaining in the shade.
Love.
Well, Jim really has had some luck with the lines over the last 2 or 3 games. Again, that ball hitting just on the outside edge of the line. He's hit 2 or 3 forehands that have hit right on the line. This was a magnificent volley from a very awkward position. You can see landing right on the line. 40 love.
Three all, and only 6 points in 6 games in this 4th set against the serve. That's combining the 2 players.
Well, it's getting tough now for Stefan Edberg. I really think he needed to get a break early in this 4th set. Jim Courier was so shaky after losing the 3rd. Here's the service percentages. You can see Courier's picking up again, and now strangely Stefan Edberg very low on first serve percentage.
Love. 15 all.
And John, you get a feeling it's one of those moments in a match, don't you?
Certainly the moment for Stefan Edberg. Serve not really directed well enough. It was straight to the backhand of Courier without cramping him. A carbon copy of the backhand that Jim Courier played on match point last year. Crisis time for Stefan Edberg.
That's up. Please. 30-40. Thank you. As a courtesy to both players, please remain quiet in between first and second serves. Thank you.
What a
Jim
point
Courier.
and what a break for Courier. 4-3 now in the fourth.
Courier leads all three.
On Stefan's side, he has at last
Time.
adopted and been able to implement a little better the correct strategy for him to break Courier's serve. He has been attacking virtually every second serve, taking the ball, hitting it hard and trying to get to the net. So it's a matter of whether he can do it now. No back brace today, as there had
Thank
been in the
you.
previous couple of rounds.
Thank you. Seats quickly, please. Seats, please, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you.
Jim Courier with the all-important break in the fourth set, leading 2-1. 2 service games away from the championship.
15 love.
Edberg was expecting a let call off that first serve. None forthcoming.
Dirty love.
Seven aces for Jim Courier.
Version 15.
That second serve very, very short, allowing Edberg to take the ball early. He hit it aggressively deep towards the baseline and volleyed with more authority, bring the score back to 30 all. And Brad Stein knows he is sweating, that Courier really must get his first serves in now.
Thank you, Margaret. Quiet, please.
What a comeback by Edberg. The break back after trailing 30 love. It's 4-all. Let's go down and see what's happening.
For all. Thank you. Thank you, quiet, please.
And the more this match travels on, the more success Edberg is having when he comes to the net. So Johnny O'Keefe served that one.
Six double faults for Stefan Edberg. I wonder how critical this one is. Look at Tony Pickard. He's been with Edberg for so long. 10 Grand Slam finals they've been together for. This is the 11th. He sat there and watched them all. The top of the net has not been kind to Stefan Edberg until now. And turning that ball into a winner. Great run by Courier even to make it in time, but just pushing the ball over the baseline. 2 points now for Edberg to lead 5-4, trailing 2-1.
Edberg missing that wide serve, but that's been a big winner for him this last set and a half. That wide one out to the Courier forehand.
Well, extraordinary, isn't it? 40-30. Both the points have been double faults, and they've been pretty wild, a couple of them. The first serve the first time, as John said, of Johnny O'Keefe, the wild one. And that second serve all over the place.
Yes, well, that his technique can allow that to happen because he is coming across the face of the ball. The racket frame travels very close to the ball, sometimes nicking it.
Holds on, it's 5-4, Edberg in the fourth.
Edberg leads 5-4. 15 love.
It's the Courier serve that went off so markedly in the third set, and now it's the only thing that's really held him in this fourth set. 8th ace.
30 love.
And that shows how clearly what Stefan's intention is. Even if he can't get the racket on the ball well, he's going to follow it in. Bluff, bustle, hustle.
Love. Game Courier.
5-all.
Well, that's a real let-off. Jim Courier, Stefan Edberg not applying any pressure. And that's some of the prizes they're playing for. But more than anything, they're playing for the prestige of adding another Grand Slam championship. Courier already having won 3, Edberg 6. And that's the measure of great players' worth. And having to go for a drop shot, it was finely played, but on the surface, it's really not going to be effective against somebody as quick as Courier.
Well, the backhand volley that had let him down for so long in the first 2 sets was critical there.
And this shows you something about Jim Courier. The lob goes up, but look how far this smash is away from Jim, and he actually stopped running for it. And I haven't seen him do that in the first 6 rounds. He's chased everything. In fact, we've made comments that he'd run through a brick wall to get to a ball. Doesn't matter how great they are, they do feel the pressure. It's the freshly strung racket for Jim Courier. Jim Courier looks very happy at the result of that last second serve.
Thank you. Quiet, please. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Game Courier.
Well, unbelievable, isn't it? Courier pumped now, adrenaline flowing, serves for the match after the break.
Courier leads Stefan.
Edberg has made some remarkable recoveries already in this match. How many times can you go to the well and produce the goods? New balls. Courier to serve for the lot here after 2 hours and 25 minutes.
Out.
Ooh, incredible
15
overrule. Jim Courier insisting the ball was wide. Wayne McEwen getting a little fond of the overrule. I think Stefan agreed that it was wide. It wasn't a particularly cleanly hit ball of Edberg's.
Thank you. Thank you, point please.
15 love.
What's up? All.
Well, Edberg a little lucky. There was just nothing on that approach. He was coming in with best wishes at most. Very, very tentative here, Stefan Edberg. And this shows you what pressure does to the world's best player. I don't think anybody would have the audacity to hit an approach shot like that against Jim Courier and really hope to win the point. But at 6-5, serving for the match, the simplest of shot becomes more difficult.
$30-15. $40-15.
2 match points for the defending champion, #1 player in the world.
Thank you. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Quiet, please. Thank you. $40-13.
Stein really sweating it out. And Edberg putting it up to Jim, saying, "You'll have to beat me."
Please, thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Deuce.
If it turns the match around, it'll go down in folklore. One of the bravest shots this man's ever played.
Well, he showed courage against Jim Courier in the tiebreaker in the first set of their semi-final, 5-3, with Sampras serving. He went for the return and got it just as he went for the forehand approach there, and then struggled to get to that wide forehand volley to play a perfect touch shot into the open court. Deuce.
Thank you. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you. Advantage Courier.
And a third championship point for Jim Courier. What a chance Edberg had there.
Thank you. Game, set, match, Courier. 3 sets to 1. 6-2, 6-1, 2-6, 7-5.
Ministers, Lord Mayor, distinguished guests and ladies and gentlemen, I think we can all consider ourselves privileged to have seen that great final today between the two top players in the world, Jim Courier and Stefan Edberg.
Ladies and gentlemen, the back-to-back winner of the Ford Australian Open Championship, the man who's tough enough to run through brick walls, Jim Courier. The check is for $410,000. The Sir Norman Brooks Trophy, which is, of course, a permanent trophy and which Jim will
heavy.
get a replica of, plus the Morrison hat.
Oh, yeah. In the sun.
Jim Courier.
Well, I'd like to first start off to say congratulations, but bad luck to Stefan. He played a good match coming back. He said he was wondering what he was doing out there at 2 sets down. I was wondering what I was doing out here 2 sets up. It's really hot today, but it's the same for both guys. Anyway, I'd like to thank Ford and all the sponsors and all the tournament staff, and of course all of y'all for coming out and supporting us and just making it a real pleasure for us to be down here. I really enjoy it every year, and you know, surely I'll be back next year. And last but not least, I'd like to thank my physical trainer, Pat Etcheberry's back in Florida. One of my coaches, Brad Stein, sitting right over there in the red shirt, and Jose Higueras is back in California. And that's all I have to say. Thanks to you guys. I couldn't do it without you. Thank you.
He is a modest man and a true gentleman. The Ford Australian Open champion again for 1993, Jim Courier.